How much does it cost to build a website? And this is the only and the last video that you need to see if you're able to understand how much will it going to cost if you're an agency or an individual, if you're like planning to get a website built. So by the way, hey, my name is Priyesh and I'm founder of On Creation and Web Services, where we make websites that actually convert. So from my past experience of 4 years of building websites for agencies and individuals, this is the overall cost breakdown, and this is the ballpark that you should be expecting based upon your design and the overall scope. So, the overall pricing is divided into two major categories. That is, the pricing is divided on based on the technology and the type. Let's talk about the technology. It is divided into then the tools, like if you're using builder or your dev person whom you're hiring is using tools like WordPress, Squarespace, or Wix, it should generally take between 2 3 weeks of time. And again, that is divided into like either if they're using template or they're making custom design. If they're doing custom template, then it should vary from $100 to 100 to $1,200. That is basically the roughly breakdown is like 20 to $50 it will cost for the template, and 50 to 100 $1,200 that would the developer would cost will charge you in order to like build the site and use the template and in order to like put everything together. But if you're going custom is basically like the design is getting customly designed for you, where everything will be according to your brand identity, brand colors, and everything. That is what most of the time we do for our clients as well. That is somewhere that starts from $500 and goes till $10,000, again depending upon the scope of the project. And here is the breakdown. So $300 for the designer, $500 for the developer, $200 goes to the QA, because if the design, if whenever there's a designer and developer, there's needs a QA tester, quality assurance, who basically checks how whether the design the designer has made is perfectly applied on the developed side or not. And if not, basically he communicates with the developer and asks him to do get done with those things. And he also tests the functionality, bug hunting, and all that. And last one is $300 for the project management, because to have three people you need a person who is going to manage all of them. So if you are hiring an agency, then all of these will be taken care of. But if you'll be hiring an individual person, then you have to take up one of the job, like a project manager or a QA. But like you can't take these two. If you are experienced, then definitely in them. But I would suggest hiring an agency who can take care of all of this, and you just come into the picture when it's time for the final reviews only. And now let's talk about if the website is custom coded. It generally takes between 2 to 6 weeks in the overall development phase. And again, it is further divided into templates and custom code. For the templates, it costs between somewhere between $500 to $5,000. That is $50 to $100 and goes to the template. You can buy, like the team can buy it from like Envato, or there are multiple sources from where you can. And then the five grand somewhat goes to the developer, depending upon again the scope of the project, of like how much uh, big the scope is and how much time the developer is investing into it. This again, the price varies from 1,000 to $5,000 depending upon the scope. And if it is completely custom done, it starts from somewhere between $2,000 to $50,000. 500 goes to a designer, then few thousand goes to the developer, again QA tester, project manager, and server. Here, when we were like talking about this builder based sites, they what happening was there was they generally, Squarespace and Wix had their own plans, and WordPress, you can get the really good hosting for $50. But here, when you're going custom, there's a big cost get introduced, that is a server cost as well, that you have to take in consideration of. And let me tell you, all the prices that I have mentioned, this actually comes from an average of industry, as well as somewhat between the charges that we charge and what our competitors charge as well. So the price, the according way, according that only the I have like mentioned the pricing. And now the pricing depending upon the type. There are two major type of the sites, that is business websites and e-commerce ones. Business are like service and service based businesses, could be legal consultation, could be accounting, could be any of that. So the prices are somewhere between, starts from $100 to $2,500, again depending upon the scope, depending upon the platform it's getting developed on, and depending upon like the kind of like animation and interaction and how complex the design are you getting developed. And again, the last one is e-commerce websites, that starts somewhere between $500 and goes up till $15,000. And in this budget, in $500 you can get template a templated Shopify website that would just work fine. But like if you're looking for an ideal site, that would cost somewhere between $3,000 to $4,000. And for a business website, that should cost somewhere between $1,500. I'm talking about the good pricing. For the customs website, it should be around $3,000 to $4,000. Again, like if it's a very big site, it would cost definitely a lot more. For templated custom code, this would again cost you somewhere around $2,500. For custom design sites, this should cost you ideally between um $3,000. 3,000 is a fair deal if you get it. If you get a website at that price, that's a very good deal. And for a template one, like I would say $700 to $1,000 would be a perfect price if you're paying for something like that. So here was a cost breakdown of basically how much does a website cost. And like if you're in the market looking for a website, this is how much you should be ideally paying for it. And if you have any question, you can do ask me in the comment section. As well as if you're looking forward to get a website developed or in the market to explore a few options, I would really love to have a chat with you, and you can schedule a free consultation call with us. The first link is in the description, and I would really love to help you out in this. Till then, have a lovely day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.